brother. I will. You know, I'll be there for 4 hours. Oh yeah.
Yeah, sorry. What's up, guys? All right, you guys all ready?
Hey.
All right. Well, good practice. We've had some good live stuff, this week, and got scrimmage tomorrow. So we're 2 weeks out from the game, and really excited about where we're at right now. I've had a really good 2 minute situation with the team at the end of practice, and I love the way the guys are working. So it's going to be a lot of fun and playing some real football now, and seeing the guys learn and develop in the last couple weeks has been awesome, and really excited where this is headed, and we just got to take advantage of all the time that we have. Questions you have for me?
Lonnie, what was the deal with the bright blue helmets? Those are the game helmets, right?
Yeah, I think because we've been wearing the white helmets most camp, and so we got to break in the helmets, and I think it's just so they didn't want to have it the first time that they're wearing the helmet is be in the game. So I don't know. These guys are all spoiled. They have so many different helmets and shoes and all that stuff. So when I played, as one helmet. That was it. So that, yeah. So I think they have to just break them in a little bit and go with it. But it looks nice. I like the way the look of them, and I'm not sure what the uniform. Do we know what that is yet? Brett, do you know what it is?
I think it's royal top and white pants.
Okay, royal top and white pants. So I'm good with it. I like those colors.
When you brought in Demario, he was originally going to do corners, and then you moved into safeties.
Mhm.
If I'm right, what was the thinking behind that?
Well, I think just looking at the candidates that we had for safeties and corners, we knew that Demario could coach either one. And so, and he's had, he has had head coaching experience with his time in Southern Utah. He has coordinator experience, and so really like the way that he works. And he's also best friends with Janelle Guilford, so they're very similar in their teaching style. And we just knew that there could be some flexibility with him there, and the opportunity to get Lewis Walker and Demo was really important. And I think they're going to be really good for us this year.
Will tomorrow be your last full live stadium look like you planned halfway through?
Yeah, with a lot of the guys, we probably already passed that. We did some live stuff this week, and I don't know if we need some of the guys to be live, but there's others that need to feel like what it's like to be tackled and break tackles, and so we'll get a look at all those guys. And then there's certain things that we need to do, um, as a team to get these guys to be a little bit more physical. But the majority of the guys are all ready to go. We just got to keep them. I mean, it's you develop these calluses and you get your body ready with the sparring that we do. So we I think most of the guys are ready, but there's some others that are a little bit soft skin, need a little beaten up. So we'll get that done tomorrow, and then we'll be ready for the season when we get to 2 weeks away.
Yeah, well, once you get to next Saturday, then you're into ramp up mode on a typical game
Yeah.
build up at that point.
Then we focus more on our opponents too. Midway, so a week and a half out, we're going to be focusing on Utah Tech, and right now we're trying to get all our stuff in and figure out what's the best game plan, the strategy for week one. And so we'll just, it was a lot of work. The coaches did a great job, and we're almost there. But we'll need tomorrow, and we'll need the first 2 days next week to get ready.
When does fall camp officially close?
I think officially maybe middle of next week. And so, yeah, I thought the camp. I mean, the guys were way more ready than ever before, and so things were a lot easier. You could tell these guys spent a lot of time being football junkies and studying the game and studying. I mean, they did a lot of player run meetings and player run practices where they actually got together and took the initiative themselves to get their team ready. So a lot of the teaching it was already done before we even got to camp, and I'm really pleased with the way they responded to it. And now we're just focusing on the technique and all the little details that can get us there.
Back in spring, Kelly Vinga noted that maybe an area that was a focus going into fall was the depth at cornerback. How do you feel about that? Guys emerged, we saw like Evan Doe in some coverage today. Just how do you feel about the depth at cornerback after Shmev and Trey?
Yeah, and that's why we brought Jay Will here. So having him and seeing the development of Kato and seeing the development of Jordan Chris and Matthias Leach, those guys are coming along really nicely, and so we feel good about the depth there. Had Cannon DeVries playing some nickel for us too, and used Tommy there. So we've had a bunch of different versatile looks with the defense. And so I feel like we're in a really good spot. And there's a lot of corners that can play and a lot of DBs that can play. We have safeties that can play corner. So there's a lot of cross training between the two positions. That's why it's important to have a lot of great communication between Demo and Coach Walker.
Anything else?
The development of the mustache. Could you elaborate on?
Oh, the mustache. Yeah. Honestly, I have a hurting. It's like an annoying pimple on my upper lip, and so I don't have skills to maneuver around that with my razor, and so I just had to let it grow. And as soon as the pimple heals, off comes the stash. So I don't look as good as my dad and others with it. Like look at Pops. You got a rocking a nice. Yeah, I mean, I would just be trying to imitate my father. I try to imitate him in a lot of different ways. The mustache, I don't know if I can pull it off. My 4-year-old daughter's already doesn't know how she feels about it. So, yeah, this is just for comfort. You guys, this is allowed in the honor code and dressing grooming, and so. But as soon as this thing heals, it's off. Thanks for noticing like the little things that nobody cares about.
It's a flashback.
I
when you were a
care.
player.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, was that 99? That
I didn't
team
look.
photo?
It didn't look good back then, and I don't know if it's gonna look good now. But like, I mean,
You have a little bit more salt than you had.
I
You had a
know.
lot more pepper last.
Thanks a
year.
lot, Criddle. Yeah, that's and don't look at my hair too. It's wisdom. Even in the upper lip, I got it. So yeah, I have wonderful people like you to remind me about my looks. So thank you guys.
All right, thanks, Kalani. Appreciate it.
Rich, you had one more
I
question.
just wanted to ask you about the linebacker position. There's
Yeah.
much talk about how talented that group. How deep does it go? Like number wise, you feel confident can play in a game?
Yeah, we have a lot of guys there that can play. I mean, we're going to be able to use as many of those guys as we can, and looking at different packages to help get them all on the field at the same time. But it's one of the deepest linebacking crews I've ever been around, and a lot of talent there too. So, and that's with Glasgow and Cade leading the way, but the rest of the guys are right there. They can play. I like that group, and so. And, K-Pop was wise to take the inside linebacking group and the outside linebackers to coach. So, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Love you.
Reggie.
Sorry.
Reggie's up next.
I was like, should I say? But I now everyone's gonna be like, hey, where did that scar come from?
Any up?
I know.
All right, questions for Reggie.
He's gotten very good over those last week.
Reggie, how are you feeling about the progress in the wide receiver room at this point?
I'm feeling very confident. I feel like at the beginning, a lot of outside doubt, but Fessy just told us to stay confident in who we are, and so we come a long way. We're confident in ourselves and what we can do. So we're looking really good right now.
Feels like players that just want an opportunity, and it seems like all of you guys have an opportunity to take whatever playing time is available. How exciting is that for you guys?
It's very exciting. A lot of young guys like Legend and Terrence and me and Tay. We've been here a year. It's very exciting for us to be able to be an opportunity where if we compete and we show up every day and work hard, that we can play a lot. You know, it's very exciting because, you know, everyone dreams about playing here at BYU, being on at LaVell Edwards Stadium. So I'm excited for it.
You obviously had seen what the offense was able to do last year. I know it's just camp, but how close is it? Or you guys, how much further ahead do you feel? Where is the offense, in your opinion, heading into this year?
I think we are looking very good this year. You know, spring ball just like started us because we added some new players, obviously. So that started us, and then we got here at fall camp, and I feel like every day we're showing up, we're getting better, and our offense is looking really good. You know, we're driving the ball really well. We're getting smarter with 2-minute, 4-minute drills, and overall, I think we're ready, honestly.
Kalani talked about the fact that, you know, coming into this camp, obviously they're still teaching and coaching, but, you know, you guys as players did so much of that on your own in the offseason that it's made their job easier. How much have you seen that help what the players, all you guys did during the offseason?
Yeah, I think the best thing is player led, and I think I've seen a lot of that, especially in the receiver room with JoJo, being an upperclassman and pushing us every day, along with Bear pushing the offense to be better, without necessarily the coach's help. So I think that was a big part of why we are being so successful right now.
You keep
How important was last year for you coming in here because you had this pretty incredible JUCO career over there at Snow, but just to be able to kind of come in and get used to the system, to the speed, to Division I football, that kind of thing. How big was last year for you?
I think it was very big for me. You know, coming from JUCO, Snow's a good program, but nothing like a Power 5 school. Being able to get into the program, be here for a year, figure out the defense, figure out how to read defenses, figure out the offense and how to play fast but also confident was probably the biggest thing. So I think that year of development, being able to redshirt, will put me in a good spot this year.
I'm never entirely sure what kind of the communities in rural Utah are like. So did you grow up much of a BYU fan at the Manti-Ephraim area?
A little bit. I would say we were more of a Washington State fan just because that's where my dad played college. So I kind of just grew up being Washington State. But I always loved BYU. I loved just LaVell Edwards Stadium because I went to a few games when I was younger. So I think that's a big reason why I chose BYU overall.
Sorry I'm late, but what kind of kept you out last year of action? You know, you started the season, and then what kind of kept you away from playing football?
Yeah, so last year, the first few practices, the second week of practice, I actually messed up my hamstring really bad. That set me out probably for the first 4 games. And then at that point, you know, coming back was hard. Getting my lungs under me, getting the playbook back, because, you know, when you're off for that long, it's kind of hard. So we ended up just taking the red shirt and then started. My first game was the TCU game. From then it was good, but I think just injury setbacks and then getting back into the rhythm of it was the biggest thing from last year.
Where do you see yourself fitting in on this depth chart that we see?
Pretty high, honestly. You know, right now we got JoJo and Kyler and Legend, and then I think I'm right there in the mix. If I continue to do what I can and work hard every day, I think I can get up there with a good rotation.
So did you really catch 2 TD passes in the scrimmage?
I did, yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was cool, you know. I think that was my first touchdown in LaVell Edwards Stadium, so it was way cool. Yeah.
And it's the first of many?
I mean, I hope so, yeah. First of many, right?
Hey, you went to a smaller high school, and then not long ago you were Weber State. What's the journey been like for the last 18 months to be here?
It's been really crazy, you know, going from Manti High School to Snow to Weber, just kind of like the step up from smaller, and then big, and then yeah. It's been crazy, but you know, I feel like I learned a ton seeing a whole bunch of different cultures football wise, and meeting a whole bunch of different people I loved. So it's been fun, but it was definitely a challenge, you know, moving so fast and having to learn playbooks and meeting new people, fitting in, figuring out like where I fit in was hard, but overall, I'm happy I did it. You know, this is the place I want to be.
So what is a level 15 gymnast? How does that help your football career?
Level 15 gymnast. Basically, I can do any sort of like gymnastics trick. My mom owned a gym back in Ephraim, so it's actually crazy. My mom used to talk about how being a gymnast, because she's kind of the one who like made me do it. She said being a gymnast will help you with body control and like learning how to land safely. So I mean, it worked out, I guess.
What was your best event? Was it rings? Was it?
It was
like floor.
It was floor, yeah. Floor was my best.
So what was your best pass? Your best tumbling pass?
Oh, it's been a long time. It was like backflip, back handspring, backflip, back handspring, back handspring, back handspring, and then like a full. So that was a while ago though. Holy.
When did you quit gymnastics?
Around probably 11 years old. About.
When you reached like 6 foot.
Yeah, exactly. I got a little too tall, and my dad's like, "Yeah, time to stop." So,
How was your dad? Sorry, how was
You
your
get
dad
a touchdown. Are you going to do a celebration?
I mean,
Back,
yeah,
I guess.
maybe I should do a backflip. That'd be very fitting. So, yeah.
You come from a good pedigree. Obviously, Pops played high-level football. How has he mentored you through this process? You're a small town, kind of underdog, but you had the pedigree.
Mhm.
How has he mentored you to, reach your potential?
Yeah, he's done a good job. I feel like he always pushed me past like what people could see. He like growing up in high school, I didn't get I wouldn't say challenged that much, but it's just a kind of like a lower level. So he always made sure to like take me out by himself after practice and stuff and catch, do some releases, some blocking stuff. So I think just the extra work he put in with me was the biggest thing that helped me. And then he also gave me confidence to understand that I can play at a higher level, to get my mental right, and for that I'm thankful.
Yeah, did he tell you, hey, like you have the ability to play Division I football if you want to?
Yeah, he always believed in me. He said, you're big, you're strong, you're fast. I think if you put your mind to it, you'll be able to play at a high level. So thanks to him, that's why I'm here.
Is there a story behind your name, Reggie? Don't see a lot of Reggies.
I know. I don't think so, honestly. I think my parents were just like,
Reggie Jackson.
yeah, I don't know.
Probably never heard of him.
No, I have, but don't really know much. So,
Who
yeah.
have you been impressed by in the receiver room? Obviously, you're on the come up. You're a rising star in the group. Who have you been impressed by?
Been impressed by a name you guys hear a lot, Legend Glasgow. Young kid, pick up the playbook fast, really smart. Legends one. I'm also really impressed with Terrence Sarion. He's doing well. He had a really great practice today. Younger guys are stepping up a lot, so I'm excited for them.
How much improvement have you personally seen from Bear from last year to this year in his accuracy? A-Rod said he's one of the most accurate passers he's ever coached.
Yeah, he's gotten incredible over the offseason. He's making plays that we can't even believe sometimes. He's rolling out, he's throwing it across the middle, right on the dime. So he's improved a ton, and I think he's going to be very dangerous this year, especially with our receiving core.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thanks, Reggie.
Yep.
So is it short for Reginald?
No, just Reggie.
It's
Yeah.
really Reggie. Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
What's up? How are you guys?
Oh, really?
I grew up in Spring.
All right, questions for Justin?
Justin, looking trim.
Yes, sir.
How'd the offseason treat you, man?
It was really good. They had us out there working out every morning in the summertime. You know what I'm saying? So hanging out with the boys, getting sweaty, all that, eating right. So it was fun.
What last year you were intermittent in your playing time, right?
Yep.
Why was that, and how are you taking on a bigger role this year?
Yeah. So when I first got here from Oklahoma State, it was like my first week working out, and I tore my meniscus. So just kind of battling back through that one. With that injury, and then that defensive line room already had some good veteran guys, JT, Keanu, and then our young guys really stepped up really well. So it just kind of made more sense for me to get back to 100% with my knee and stuff like that, and then come back for the senior year.
So what's the total weight loss? What's the number? How much did you shed?
So last year I was weighing about 345, and this year I'm at 305. So yeah, it's been. Yeah, tell you what, shout out to my wife. She's been making chicken, avocado, really healthy stuff the whole time. Quit going to get ice cream. I was on a no fun food diet, but it worked. So
Was that the toughest thing, ice cream, cutting that out? Or?
yeah, I'm a big ice cream guy. I actually live out in Springville, so shout out Maggleby's for their chocolate cake. It's delicious, man. But yeah, that was after I had to really limit myself to maybe one cheat meal a week, and then I've watched the pounds just fly off. Shout out to the strength conditioning team too. They were yelling at me the whole time, run harder, all that stuff too. So it was a group effort, but yeah, once I cut out the bad calories, it was pretty easy.
So what's it like playing at 40 less pounds?
Tell you what, I feel like I can run forever. So it's been a lot of fun, and just beat this defense in general. Like Oklahoma State, we were a true 3-down front, and so it was kind of not necessarily hold blockers, but it was hold blockers so the linebackers can make plays. Where here it's like, dude, let loose and go have fun. So it's been just a lot more fun. Lower pad level, being able to run farther, just stuff like that. So plus all this offensive line might be the best offensive line in the country, and they're super athletic. So I was almost like a step behind when I was 340, and now we're all just on par with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of the old line, Do you know what FTP stands for?
I tell you what, I've been with those guys for months and I still have no idea. I just throw something out, make something up, it could be like for the popcorn, like they're putting on a show, something. I have no idea and they won't tell me. So while we're in the middle of the play, I'll like try to whisper in their ear and ask, but they're pretty secretive, those boys.
Do you have a favorite tech that you like to align in? 1, 3, 0? Where do you like to be?
I like to line up where I get the double team so everybody else can get the one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then when I do get the one-on-one, it's finesse moves only. So if you see a lot of spin moves, just know that's my forte.
No bull rush.
No, you would think that, but I'm more of a side scissors kind of guy, hit him with the bear crawl move, I just try to like throw things out there, see what happens. So
All that yoga work in the
exactly. Yes. If you see me out there just doing some like a backflip downward dog over someone, just know it was planned.
Justin, is dropping the weight, has it affected your ability to take on double teams, you feel like, at all?
I don't think so. It really luckily I was very blessed. I didn't lose any strength. So I just lost a lot of like the ice cream weight, and so it was really good. And then just the way his defense plays too, like our linebackers, Cade, Ciale, Glasker, Jake, those boys, they're hitting the gap fast. And so our double teams, they last maybe 2 seconds max. So it's been like we worry about the double teams, but we don't worry about it because it's just like a hard bump and climb. And so as long as we can just stick that, it works out pretty good.
How do you feel like the defense reacted from the scrimmage on Saturday to this week? It seems like Kalani and the post scrimmage and giving credit to all the running backs that had great days. How did the defensive line, the defensive front react to that?
I tell you what, we're a bunch of old guys, and so we all have been on teams where you get scored on. I've never seen a defense where they don't get scored on, and so having a team and a fall camp where the offense is really good and the defense is really good, it just kind of makes you look forward to the season. Because if it was one-sided the whole time, it's like that makes you nervous what the season looks like. And so just having the guys rally the troops and not like we didn't lose composure or anything. Everybody kind of knew what we had to do and then got everybody else on board and didn't let anybody panic or sink the boat. And I mean, we're flying around and making plays the same way. So it'll be good to get back in the stadium again tomorrow and give them a good run,
Does it mean anything to you to open against your former school, Utah Tech?
Yeah, how about that, man? Isn't that funny? Yeah, so when we played Utah, when I was at Utah Tech 2022, we played BYU, so it's kind of funny to go full circle and play those boys. It'll be fun.
Who do you like to match up against on the offensive line? Who typically gives you some fits and gives you a great look to prepare you for Big 12 play?
The All Big 12 center, Bruce Mitchell. That dude, yeah, he is phenomenal. That dude is, all of 6'4", 305 pounds. He plays with his pad levels, face mask on the ground half the time. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude is legit. Hard to bull rush, has a good frame, powerful. And then the problem with Bruce is he's always smiling too. And so even like he'll get me a couple plays, I'll get him a couple plays, and we sit right next to each other in the locker room. And it's just like, all right, dude, you want to go get some lunch? You know what I'm saying? So he is a dude who on the field, he wants to kill you, but off the field, I mean, you could call him at 2 a.m. and he'd answer. So.
Is that part of the Kalani culture where you guys compete out here, but you guys love and learning in the locker room?
Yeah, for sure. And I think it just goes to like in the locker room, we're all split up. So you're not with your position group, and in the team room, we're all sitting next to each other and stuff like that. And so just being able to be friends with everybody, it's like, it doesn't matter if Bruce is calling a DB or a DB is calling, a wide receiver, like everybody's friends. And obviously football, we're all competitors and stuff like that. And BYU plays a very physical brand of football. But then off the lines, it's like, I want to see you succeed just as much as you want to see me succeed. And so I do think that is a culture thing. And I do think the coaches do promote the lead with love very well. But at the same time, like we did come here to play football. So it's a physical game.
You've been around the block.
Last question.
I was just going to say, so many of these guys you play up on the defensive side of the ball were here last year. Cade's one of the guys that wasn't. So what have you seen from Cade that's impressed you?
Hey, that dude is a dog. And I tell you what, he showed up and immediately like flowed in the system perfectly. And he showed up the right way. He didn't come in and he wasn't like overbearing or anything like that or try to impose like his ways. He just kind of came in, rode the wave. And then obviously he's a phenomenal football player, phenomenal leader. And I'm super excited that he is a Cougar this year. So.
All right, Justin, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks, Justin.